24, Minneapolis-St. Paul. Now, the Dave Moore News.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight,
when Dave Moore started anchoring TV, it was still black and white. He was there when television went color.
This is The Scene Tonight, in color, with Dave Moore.
On The Scene Tonight, another accident involving the Kennedys.
standing room only at the new Metropolitan Stadium today for the season's opener, which saw Wichita drop the Millers 4-2. It was a great day for a ball game.
Dave was behind the anchor desk when Met Stadium opened and when it closed. But Dave never let the bad news get him down.
There are free sheets, three T-shirts.
What, you mean you got 3 T-shirts and 3 free sheets too? I mean?
No.
His bedtime news deserved a double take or two.
Good evening. I'm Dave Moore.
Hi, Al Austin Moore here.
And we're not related.
Most of us think of Dave as an anchorman, but he's not afraid to go in the field and tackle the tough topics, like life in a nudist camp.
For heaven's sake, don't be self-conscious. There are people too, you know, and I thought we handled ourselves pretty well, composed and calm.
Lately, Dave's been getting around town for his More on the Story reports.
Nice, Biggie.
Next month, we'll get a chance to see more of Dave in his new show, More on Sunday.
It is my fond and selfish hope that this More on Sunday program will give us access to people who might not otherwise give us the time of day.
Dave's show will review news of the week and sometimes news of the offbeat.
Experiment with Turtle Cam.
Today is Dave Moore's last day as news anchor. But lucky for all of us, we've got more to watch.
We're looking forward to seeing more of you on Sunday.
The new Hennepin County Government Center, 24 stories of glass and granite, conceived, designed, and constructed at taxpayer expense. Few can deny its awesome splendor or its aesthetic contribution to the Minneapolis skyline. But some people are beginning to seriously question the arrogance of power by which public spending for the building was permitted to go far beyond legislative authority.
You see, originally when they came in, they weren't even going to move the county board to this new building. That was to be a courthouse. And if you take a look at the 1967 statutes, you'll see where it specifically talks about a building to house courts and court-related functions. Well, instead, we have a bank in there, restaurants going in, showers, I understand, acres and acres of carpeting, offices for the commissioners and high staff, that makes most business corporations look like pikers. And all of this at a time when at least 6% of our population is unemployed. And when the budget of families are tighter, and these people are the ones who asked, and they have imposed upon all of us, a 15% increase in the property tax levy.
I think there are a number of people in the community who would criticize any expenditure of government, whether it was positive or not, simply because they're anti-government. In my view of things, government is charged with the responsibility to perform.
It began in 1967 with a modest proposal to build a 17-story building, then a $34 million estimate for a 24-story building. Today, with construction still underway on 16 unfinished floors, it is a 24-story twin tower, one tower for the courts, one for the administrative offices of the county. And a new budget ceiling of $55 million was approved just 2 weeks ago. This does not include $8 million for land, furnishings, equipment, moving, and other expenses. It does not include another $250,000 for the 5th Street tunnel that will connect the old City Hall courthouse to the new twin towers. In 1969, the legislature gave the county authority to publicly finance a $34 million building. Now, the final cost may go above $70 million.
Comparing it with other office buildings that have been constructed in the last 5 years, this is absolutely magnificent. And no apologies need to be rendered. Not only the efficiency of the building, but the cost of it as well.
Overall, landscaping costs for the new government center, $1,500,000, including the trees imported from California and Florida. but not including the plastic strawberry plant that sits in Commissioner Robb's office, given to him by an anonymous taxpayer after one of his colleagues made the remark that selling art to Commissioner Robb is like giving strawberries to pigs.
Perhaps I shouldn't.
In fact, Robb's appreciation for art is notoriously unsophisticated, like the bright red carpet and black leather decor of his office. And while the other commissioners went searching for sculpture for the new building, Robb stayed home.
The commissioners I have, and I can so identify, travel to either the East Coast or the West Coast. 45 days, 45 commissioner days have been spent on one coast or the other in that quest. The first 6 months of that quest, I didn't even know they were looking at sculptures. Couldn't find out. When we finally learned about the sculpture, we were able to blow it right out of the water. And then last week they went back to California on the same mission.
Actually, these plush offices for the commissioners were a surprise gift from the architect, John Carl Warnke and Associates of San Francisco. The commissioners were given no limit on spending. Some hired interior decorators. There's rosewood paneling that added $30,000 to the taxpayer's bill. This parquet floor in Commissioner Darris's office is polished every night, direct orders of the commissioner. Commissioner Hanson covers his parquet floor with an oriental rug that visitors to his office stoop to admire. The most tastefully decorated office, in any Dinah sort of way, seems to be that of Commissioner Tom Olson. Very expensive. Snow-white carpet that will have to be shampooed often, and a few dying houseplants. Commissioner Tyson's office looks like McSorley's ale house on St. Patrick's Day. The fuzzy green carpet stuck to our shoes, and we left a trail of rug fuzz wherever we snooped that day. The trail always led back to Commissioner Tyson's office. The only crowd you'll ever see here will be when it comes time to pay taxes. It would seem that space is not very well married to function on the vast public service level. While welfare offices are crowded in other parts of the county, you have the space of nearly 2 football fields here to buy a fishing license. And by the way, there's only 1 bathroom on this floor for public use, while the judges in the court tower have 13, each complete with shower. Hi. You come here often?
No, first time. I'm
Is it?
94 and I want to do it straight up them steps.
You're 94 years old? Did you walk up the steps? Mr. W.P. Buchan is his name, 94 years old. A retired mechanical engineer who came to rest a spell and admire the building. He thought it to be lavish, but he presumed it was necessary. We were told that this building was built to withstand salt air and tidal waves.
Tidal waves?
Tidal waves. It's something like building a building in Omaha, Nebraska to withstand typhoons, I would
We're
say.
600 feet above sea level,
Yes.
at least. Be some tide.
How is it we can sit here and laugh about this? This is our money that we're laughing
Because
about.
I'll soon be dead and you can pay for it, not me.
This used to be our favorite time of the season for watching the Twins play ball. Generally, in this latter part of September, they're way out of the pennant race, the pressure is off, and they play reasonably well. But on this day, the notes and the tone of this September song are dissonant and way off key. The sorrow that is visiting so many of us rigid and flexible purists comes not just from the thought of the Twins playing baseball under a roof, but the very thought that they're going to be tearing this place down. This baseball stadium, one of the 3 best in the world, this last bastion of baseball stability, is only 25 years old. Tearing it down and replacing it with an antiseptic plastic marketing and housing complex is another victory for industrial greed. And next year, this baseball team will be playing out its comic opera in a convention hall that stands as a monument to man's fascination for the vulgar and the tacky. But they can't tear down the memories. Not from one who was here the day Earl Batty was thrown out at first on a single to right, or the day Richie Allen legged out 2 inside the park home runs. You know, it was Allen who said of artificial turf, if a horse can't eat it, I ain't playing on it. And the day just last year when Mike Cubbage hit for the cycle. And all those sunsplash days with Killebrew at bat, when the pitchers couldn't keep the ball out of harm's way. And the doomed Willie Norwood stumbling around out there in center field. You know, one of his replacements said, after also stumbling about, he came into the dugout and said, Norwood's got that field so screwed up, nobody can play out there. When the game's over, I'm going to sit here for just a few minutes and weep.
The best part of winter, the best part by far, is kicking those ice chunks that form on your car. No matter our ages or races or genders, we all enjoy booting that slush off our fenders. It's deeply fulfilling, that contact and sound of boot hitting junk and then junk hitting ground. Makes you feel better, makes your day brighter, makes your tercel about 20 pounds lighter. Boy, what a workout. We all could be hunks by starting each morning with kicking some chunks. So next time you spot one, no matter how awesome, don't wait and think maybe you might let it thaw some. Go after it, mister. Attack it with zeal, and manfully give it the back of your heel. It may take you weeks, but of course that's good too. The winter goes faster with something to do.
When I started reading the 6 o'clock news here on Channel 4, our youngest child, Paul, was just 4. Look at him now in the control room. He is the producer, editor, writer of this newscast. What do you say, Paul? Okay, kid, fade to black and go to your room.
Good about it. What really made me feel good was you people being here. Wow. Oh, Trissy, thank you. Oh, gosh. You're so good. You're gonna do it.